Hello everyone, welcome to Biblical Prepping. I'm Judith Garten and this is the prepper portion, and today I'm reviewing another product I never actually thought I would bother to buy. I would like to introduce you to the Crofton Filtered Countertop Compost. This is a compost bucket. It is not one of those automatic composters that composts in itself. You do need to use a compost pile or bin bucket outside to put your compost products into, and I can promise you you're definitely going to want to do that anyway because this fills up fast. Why did I not want one versus why I decided to pick one up? Well, I didn't want a compost bucket in the kitchen per se because I've had them in the past and I have had issue with them smelling horrible over time. Last year, we decided we needed a larger trash can in our kitchen. Believe it or not, just your standard kitchen trash can was not big enough. And I didn't want one of those tacky looking outdoor trash cans you just usually haul to the curb. That's about 39 gallons or so. I wanted something that was actually appealing, looked nice. We're going to be doing a review on that as well soon. It is that trash can is available in our Amazon affiliate store that is located on biblicalprepping.com. I bought a filter with that shortly after we got it because the trash was smelling so badly. I thought somebody has to have invented a trash filter. So I bought a different brand of filter system for the trash can, adhered it to the inside of the lid, and I love it. So when we saw the Crofton Filtered Countertop Compost Bucket at Aldi Finds, in their Aldi Find aisles a week or so ago, I thought I would give this one a try because it has the same style of filter as the one we're using in our trash can. I will explain in the trash can review video why we needed to keep the trash in that bin. That will encourage you to go listen to that one because it's kind of funny. So anyway, having the composter, I was using an old blender as my composter, and it's my compost bin per se, and I was just putting all the used vegetables in there. For those of you who have seen my garbage soup video, you know that most of the time I save vegetable scraps in a bag in the freezer, and then I make broth from them that I can or freeze. Well, this summer I desperately need potting soil. I have bought various brands. I have bought standard brands. I have bought organic brands. I have had a disaster in our garden over and over again. Our garden soil needed to be fixed. I have been trying to work on that for a number of years. This year we moved our garden from one plot to another, and I moved all the good soil from the old plot to the new plot beds, but there wasn't enough to fill all the beds. So I've been trying to fix that soil that isn't already fixed and repaired and get that going as well. I need compost. I need potting soil. I have had such a disaster this year with seeds. It has been horrible. I have actually had bean seeds growing upside down, and I have talked to a number of different people, troubleshooting all the different ideas as to why it happens. The bean seeds are just horribly confused. I am trying to grow my final crop of beans for the freezer and for canning so that we can have them for the winter as the prices are going up. And I need my bean seeds to sprout. Right now I have none. I have planted over 125 seeds just to try and get 24 plants. That's the disaster it's been. The peas were the same. Struggling so hard getting the seeds. So I need soil of our own. It was time to give up the garbage soup for a few months, and all the produce that we have been eating has been going into our compost. I started one compost bucket, and I've now started a small compost pile. That compost pile is actually located in one of the pepper beds that refuse to grow but 2 pepper plants. Those are both poblanos. I tried to grow green peppers, poblanos, jalapenos, cayenne, Hungarian hot wax, as well as one other one I can't think of the name of. I tried to grow 6 different types of peppers in 2 different beds, and neither beds would produce any plants except these 2 poblanos, which I love poblanos. I just was hoping for the variety. So anyway, When we saw the little little composter, it was time to go back and get started with composting. I thought this is going to be a real test because the blender, to be honest, the blender container, even though it's sealed, the lid's sealed nicely, fruit flies in the kitchen, which have all but gone now that I've stopped using that over this, and it's only been a week and a half. There's just a couple flying around still. I was having smell on the countertop as I'm trying to cook food and whatnot. It was not pleasant. It was leaking outside of the blender jar. And what I would do with that is I would puree that and then take it out and dump it into my compost bucket, because of the bucket I'm trying to get to turn into soil faster. I want it to work more quickly. This bucket of compost will be going into the compost pile that is in the one pepper bed, and then when that gets worked in and the poblanos are done growing, I will turn around and move over to the other pepper bed, and I will do the same thing, and we'll be doing that throughout the garden. I also have compost in 2 of the pathways in the vegetable garden, but I'm not putting food compost in there because I do not want to walk through food compost. That is leaves, grass, and sticks that are composting there, and cardboard. So I'm working a couple of different angles to get that ready. So this fits in perfectly. So what do I like? Well, why don't I tell you the couple of things that I do not like about this compost bin. Number 1, it did not come with any instructions. It would have been helpful because for the first week I had the bag hanging outside and it looked kind of tacky. And I said, there's got to be a solution to this. And then I realized there's a little piece inside, I'll show you in a minute, that is removable, and you actually put the bag around that, and then the bag doesn't hang out looking tacky, and you got just this cute little bucket here. Now when we went, there was black, gray, and I believe a white available. This was just 2 weekends ago for us, and it is August 11th, so you should still be able to try and find a couple of these maybe in stock still. Also, I want to point out, Aldi has advertised they have a 75% off summer clearance on some products, so maybe you can get some things at a deep discount rate. Wouldn't that be wonderful? You could be able to get a few things that you maybe put off that were a little more expensive and get them at that 75% off discount. So that's one of the things I do not like. No instructions. I had to discern from the picture that is located here to figure out how to put the bag in properly. Now, I want to make note that this is only $9.99, so it fits in my nice little budget thing of less than $10. I love products that are less than $10 and very workable. The other thing I don't like is it only came with 1 filter. Now, the filter says, let me look here so I get it correct. On the filter package itself, it said that it is good for up to 4 months. Now remember, that is up to 4 months. I put a lot of onions, garlic skins, and things like that in our compost bin because we use a lot of onions and garlic. So the filter may not last as long, which is why I wish it did come with 1 extra filter. It only came with the one that you put in right away. The filters are easy to find on Amazon, and I will be putting a few up that will be the right size to fit in this, or at least small enough to only have to trim off a small amount of the filter. The one I use for the trash can is a large rectangular. This is much smaller. Let me show you really quick. It is just a small round charcoal style filter. And I tell you what, it does a really good job, that little filter. Another reason why Aldi actually should have sold packages on the side of replacement filters. Make a note of that, Aldi. Now, the other thing it did come with is a pack of bags. You have 40 bags. Now, these bags are listed as being compostable, but you're not supposed to compost these in your compost pile. So please do not throw these plastic bags in your compost pile. It says right on the bag, warning, it says commercially compostable only. Facilities may not exist in your area, and then it has a certification number. So you do not want to compost these in your compost pile, even though they say they're compostable. Now I'm going to show you how easy this is to work. Let me just give you a few of the details from the container package. odor-free compost bin close at hand on your countertop. It fits right next to our knife set, so I love it right there. Everything just goes right from my cutting board into the composter. Store compost material until you're ready to transport it outdoors to your bin. Fits standard size composting bags, so when you're done with these 40, you can use the standard ones that are available in stores. It has a 5.25 liter capacity and the replaceable filter as well. So here we go. We're gonna replace our bag because mine is almost full. Not quite full, but almost full. Remember the insert piece that I told you that was inside? That is this little piece right here. Oh, I got a few things stuck. Comes off just like that. And I did rip my bag this time because there's some prickly things in there. So we're going to have to take a moment and wash the compost bin. The nice thing about this bin is that this piece also comes off easily, so you can just quickly wash it. Now this lovely mess is going to get put on a different countertop, out of sight, out of mind, because it needs to go in the garden as soon as it stops raining today. Especially since it stinks. Now we have just the 4 parts to the compost bin. You want to take this interior lid, snap that on, because this lid is going to fit in there, or this part is this ring. It's going to fit in there. We quickly open our bag, stick it inside. You can just stick this through the top, like so. Wrap it over the top just enough, and then that fits right down inside. Easy as pie. Now I will say that the bucket did absorb this time a little bit too much of the onion smell from the onion that is in there deteriorating. So I did sprinkle a little bit after washing it of dry baking soda down in the bottom just to leave that there because I wanted to be able to finish the video for you. The next time I empty this, I am going to have to give it a little bit of a soak with some white vinegar, make sure that smell gets removed. I will just dump the white vinegar probably into the bucket and add some hot water and let it soak for a bit, and then I will clean that way. But this is the product I never thought I would own, and I absolutely love it. It is great. It's the perfect size for the 2 of us. It gets emptied about every 3 or 4 days. Some weeks less, some weeks there's a few more days in there, but as a general rule, about every 3 or 4 days, it gets emptied and dumped into our compost bin. And if you can grab one of these Crofton filtered countertop compost buckets for $9.99 at your Aldi finds, I think you will really appreciate it. Blessings and shalom.